Hey, this is Jesse Rolls. A couple of years ago, I was working on the TV show The Bachelorette in California. It was by Ventura, California, kind of in between there and like Hollywood. So anyway, I got a job it was called a production assistant. And what I'd do is I'd like bring the crew and the people working on the show and everybody. I'd bring them to the house in the morning. I'd drive them back and forth from the parking lot to the house where the mansion you see on TV where the show is filmed. So anyway, one night I was security, and they kind of move you around. You have a radio, and I was security, and I was supposed to let these 3 limousines into the parking lot of The Bachelorette, the TV show, and the limos would drop off. Each limo would drop off one of the guys that was on the show, the final guys that made it, you know, to meet the girl and have a chance with this girl. So I'm outside, I'm security, and this car pulls up, and the car kind of barely rolled down. I was like, whoa, stop, because I was making sure that they said don't let anybody in the parking, don't let anybody in the house. Where that mansion was, make sure that everybody, those limos just come in. So I stopped the car, and I'm like, hey, I get in front of the car, and I'm like, I can't let you in, you know, like, how's it going? What are you up to, you know? And the guy's like, this is my name, and there's a girl next to him, and there's all these little cool looking blue lights on the inside of the car, and I go, okay, well, I'll have to tell him on the radio that you're going, and he almost drove over my feet, my feet, to get into the mansion. So I tell somebody on the radio, and then this other guy comes up to me, and he's like, oh, the guy that made the show, the producer, the guy that invented the whole Bachelorette show, he's here. And I was like, oh, that was the guy that made the show, and that was the girl that is the Bachelorette, you know, the et or whatever. She was sitting next to him, and I didn't even, you know, try to let him into the show. And he goes, this Bentley is. He goes, this is a cool Bentley, and I had never known what a Bentley was. I didn't know that was a real expensive, like, fancy car, you know. I didn't recognize that from just the look of it, which he almost ran over my feet. So I'm sitting there, have a cooler full of beer, and a limo pulls up, and the limo driver's like, hey, what, you know, he's like, what should I do? And he's kind of just sitting real still, and I'm like, oh, I'll call somebody else. I'll find out where you're supposed to put the limo or whatever. So he's sitting there in the limo, and I have this case of beer, and then the other limo pulls up in the other one. So all 3 limos are there, waiting to go around this big turn in front of the house. The limo pulls up, and then you see on the camera, on the TV show, you see the limo pull up, you see the guy get out, and he talks to the girl. So he's sitting there, and I'm like, hey, you know, I might as well ask these guys if they want some water or some Mountain Dew or something. So I go up to the limo driver, and I'm like, hey, you want some water, Mountain Dew or something? And he's like, no, it's okay, no, man. So I go up to the window of the next limo driver, and I'm like, hey, you want something to drink? I thought maybe they're thirsty, you know, I don't know. And he goes, so what do you got over there? And I'm like, well, I got some water, I got a Mountain Dew, maybe a Pepsi or something. He's like, I'll take a Mountain Dew. So then the first limo driver says, okay, you know, hey, give me one of those too. So anyway, I give him a water, a Mountain Dew. And then they got one of the Bachelorette, the guys in the back, you know, back seat of the car, rolls down his window. He goes, can I have something? He's like, what do you have? And I go, well, I got Budweiser, you know, I got like beer, and I got like pop. And he's like, can I have a beer? So I'm like, yeah, you can have a beer. So I go get him, go over and I grab him a beer, and then the next guy in the limo behind me, he wants a beer too. So pretty soon I'm just giving the Bachelorette guys that are about to meet the girl on the show, on the TV show, and sit on the bench. Well, it's, you know, footage that is gonna be used. She's gonna give him a rose. She's gonna marry him. Whatever it's gonna come down to, and I'm just handing out beers left and right. Like I'm giving, one of the guys I think drank like 6 beers within like an hour. So they're just slamming beers. These bachelor, you know, these 35-year-old guys or whatever on this TV show they're gonna talk to the girl, they're gonna, you know, whatever, and they're just slamming beers. One of the guys even peed in the yard next to me. He just got out of the car and peed. Pretty soon they're like joking around and everything, and they're all wasted, and I was like, man, I wonder if, like, you know, if how I'm doing this, I wonder, like, my aunt likes The Bachelorette, and I don't think that my aunt knows how wasted some of those guys are, you know what I mean? Like, and I was like, I wonder if by doing this, I'm influencing the TV show, you know? Like, maybe she likes a guy on the show, and she's gonna sit on a bench with him, and she's gonna explain how much she likes him or doesn't like him, but he smells like alcohol. And, or maybe he's gonna be a jerk. Who knows what he's gonna say, but alcohol is definitely a huge influence. So I'm like, wow, maybe I influenced him, you know? I don't know if this is good. So anyway, I take my cooler of whatever, beer or whatever, and I start walking up the thing, and all the limos are pulling up, and she's talking to the guys, and all of a sudden I get kind of close around the corner, and I'm pulling my cooler, and it's like over all these concrete little sidewalk things, and I'm like, oh shit, like, this is too loud, you know, like the cameras are gonna pick this up. So I pick up the cooler, I walk back down around this other house, and then I walk up to the mansion, and I peek into this huge gate you walk into where everything's being filmed, and they're outside, and it's that first angle when you see the camera lower down and you see the front of the mansion. That's where it was. So I sneak into there, you know, I kind of open the gate, and there's like 3 guys with huge red cams or whatever, and they all got their camera. One of them's a woman, she's videotaping, and one of the guys even one time was like, you know, these guys aren't just necessarily cameramen, they could be construction workers, just people that can hold a camera, you know, for a long period of time, and maybe don't smile or show any emotion, and just, you know, just are there with their camera. So I sneak into the gate, and I'm walking back, walking around the gate, and there's this big white, like, balance, you know, like huge 15 by 15 foot white sheet that's for the light and everything, and there's about 10 people around the limo, and 3 of them videotaping, and the limo driver's sitting there, and so she's crying to this guy on a bench, and she's holding on to this guy, and she's crying, and she's giving him a flower, a rose, to kick him off the show. And I see this guy that I haven't seen that I met one time playing guitar outside of a college in Bozeman, Montana, where we had a drum and a guitar, and we were outside of college, and had been drinking a bunch or something, and we were just probably really annoying, just playing guitar and playing the drum at like 11 o'clock at night outside of college dorms. So I see this guy, and we start cracking up so hard, because we're like, oh my god, like, how did you get here, you know? And he's kind of like, how did you get here, you know? We're both, look at this, we're on a TV show, we're like laughing, she's giving this guy a flower, and we're like laughing really hard, like how did we both end up, you know, in the same place in the same moment? What a synchronicity that is. And that's pretty much my story. I could always tell more Bachelorette stories. It was pretty cool, cool experience, but that's about it. So good luck in life, subscribe, comment, whatever, and hopefully by the time this video, if anybody out there is interested in Lisa Nova or Kasim G or Shay Carl, hopefully I'll be able to get a hold of them in California soon, and I can make a little, help my YouTube, get some more views in YouTube, and get some tips on how to do that, how to do more YouTube stuff. So good luck in life, and have fun, and comment, subscribe, whatever you want to do. So talk to you later. Bye-bye. See you later.